Picture this: a plain, lifeless wall in your backyard suddenly transformed into a lush, colorful masterpiece. Not with expensive art, but with plants grown inside old bottles, tin cans, and forgotten furniture. What if the trash you're about to throw away could become the most breathtaking feature in your garden? Today, we'll explore 25+ upcycled planter wall ideas that prove creativity can turn waste into living art. Stick around, because the last few ideas will completely change the way you see your garden. Welcome back to Archon Aesthetic Studio, the channel where garden dreams turn into reality with simple, creative ideas. If you love discovering unique gardening inspiration, DIY hacks, and ways to make your backyard beautiful without breaking the bank, you're in the right place. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a comment about which idea you'd try first in your own garden. Your support helps us keep bringing you fresh ideas every week. Start with a dull wall, the perfect canvas. Every great piece of art begins with a blank canvas, and in gardening, that canvas might just be the forgotten wall in your backyard. Many homeowners overlook these dull, uninspiring surfaces, yet they hold the potential to become the most stunning focal points of your outdoor space. By reimagining this plain wall not as wasted space but as an opportunity, you set the stage for transformation. Think of it this way: a wall is vertical real estate that's rarely used. Instead of leaving it bare, why not allow it to breathe and thrive with life? It can become a sanctuary for plants, a splash of color, or even a living artwork that reflects your creativity. Whether the surface is brick, concrete, or wood, the key is to see it not as boring, but as full of possibilities. This step is about vision. Take a moment to stand in front of your own wall and picture it alive with greenery, flowers, and upcycled treasures. Imagine tin cans bursting with herbs, bottles glowing with cascading blooms, or wooden pallets forming rustic frames for succulents. Before any soil is poured or planter hung, the most important step is deciding, yes, this wall deserves a second life. By reframing how you see that blank canvas, you've already started the journey toward your very own living art masterpiece. Plastic bottle vertical planters. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to transform waste into wonder is with plastic bottles. They're everywhere, often discarded without a second thought, yet they can be reborn as vibrant vertical planters. By cutting a simple opening along the side and securing them horizontally or vertically to a wall, these bottles become homes for herbs, flowers, or even small vegetables. The beauty lies in the versatility. Clear bottles let you play with visible soil layers for an earthy aesthetic, while painted bottles add pops of color that brighten the wall instantly. Group them in patterns, stripes, waves, or even geometric designs to create a playful rhythm across the surface. The key to success is ensuring proper drainage. A few holes at the bottom prevent waterlogging and keep the roots healthy. What's particularly appealing about bottle planters is their accessibility. They cost nothing but creativity, making them ideal for beginner gardeners or families wanting to involve children in eco-friendly projects. Imagine snipping fresh mint or basil from a wall of repurposed bottles while knowing you've reduced waste at the same time. And here's a bonus. Trailing plants like ivy or petunias will spill beautifully from the openings, softening the rigid shape of the bottles and giving the wall a lush, cascading effect. With just a few hours of effort, what was once destined for the trash can become a living mosaic that enriches both your garden and the planet. Tin can herb garden towers. Tin cans are another everyday item often tossed into the recycling bin, but with a little imagination, they can become charming herb planters that bring both style and function to your wall. Their uniform shape makes them perfect for stacking in towers or arranging in clean rows, giving your garden an orderly yet rustic look. To start, clean the cans thoroughly and punch a few holes in the bottom for drainage. Then, you can leave them in their natural metallic state for an industrial aesthetic or paint them in soft pastels for a cozy, cottage vibe. A wooden frame or simple wire rack will hold them in place, turning what was once kitchen waste into a vertical herb garden that looks like a designer piece. The magic happens when you fill them with herbs. Imagine brushing your hand past rosemary, thyme, and basil, and releasing their aromas every time you step outside. Not only does this add beauty to your wall, but it also gives you easy access to fresh ingredients for cooking. The mix of textures, shiny leaves, cascading stems, and vibrant greens creates a living tapestry that changes with the seasons. The best part? Tin cans are durable and weather-resistant, making them a long-lasting choice for outdoor projects. With just a few tools and a splash of creativity, you can build a vertical herb tower that saves space, reduces waste, and turns simple cans into a fragrant, edible masterpiece. Wooden pallet as a living frame. Wooden pallets are one of the most versatile materials in upcycled gardening. Often abandoned after shipping or construction, these humble frames can be reborn as breathtaking living walls. Their natural structure, rows of sturdy horizontal slats, makes them ready-made planters with just a bit of tweaking. The transformation begins by lining the back and sides with landscape fabric or recycled cloth, creating planting pockets within the pallet. Once filled with soil, each row becomes a narrow garden bed where flowers, herbs, or succulents can thrive. You can mount the pallet vertically against a wall or lean it slightly for a rustic, farmhouse effect. What makes pallet planters so appealing is their ability to create a layered, three-dimensional garden. Imagine a mix of succulents tucked tightly into one section, trailing vines spilling gracefully from another, and bright seasonal flowers popping out across the surface. The contrast of textures and colors transforms the wooden frame into a vibrant tapestry that looks like a piece of art. Beyond beauty, pallets are practical. They provide excellent drainage and airflow for plants, while their sturdy structure ensures durability. Plus, because they're often free or inexpensive, they're an eco-friendly choice that lets you create big visual impact without big expense. A wooden pallet planter wall doesn't just decorate your space, it tells a story of transformation. From a simple, discarded frame to a living masterpiece, it's proof that beauty can come from the most unexpected beginnings. Broken chair frame as plant wall accent. Sometimes the most unexpected objects make the most eye-catching garden accents, and a broken chair frame is the perfect example. Instead of throwing away an old chair with missing legs or a cracked seat, you can repurpose its frame into a whimsical vertical planter that adds charm and personality to your wall. The structure of a chair naturally lends itself to creative planting. The seat can be fitted with a planter basket or a collection of small pots, while the backrest provides a striking backdrop for climbing or cascading plants. Flowers like petunias, lobelia, or ivy will trail beautifully, softening the rigid lines of the frame and giving the illusion of a chair overflowing with life. This idea works best as an accent piece, a focal point within a larger wall display. Place the chair frame off-center or combine it with other upcycled planters to create visual interest and variety. Its rustic, weathered wood adds texture, contrasting beautifully with the fresh greenery and colorful blooms. Beyond aesthetics, this project highlights the spirit of upcycling, giving broken, forgotten items a second chance to shine. It's not just about gardening, it's about storytelling. Each plant adds new life to what was once destined for the trash, creating a piece that is as sentimental as it is beautiful. With just one old chair, a splash of creativity, and the right plants, you can transform your wall into a playful and unforgettable living art gallery. Wire mesh and old frames for hanging pockets. Wire mesh may not sound glamorous at first, but when paired with an old picture frame, it can become the foundation for one of the most creative vertical planters you'll ever build. The idea is simple. Stretch wire mesh across the frame, and then attach small pockets made from fabric, burlap, or recycled cloth. Each pocket becomes a mini planter, perfect for herbs, succulents, or colorful blooms. The effect is striking. Instead of one large planter, you have dozens of small living pockets, each bursting with greenery and flowers. The repetition creates a quilt-like pattern that's both rustic and artistic. Herbs like parsley or thyme can thrive in these pockets, while cascading plants like nasturtium add movement as they spill gently over the edges. The frame itself adds character. An ornate, vintage wooden frame brings elegance, while a simple rustic frame highlights the earthy, handmade charm. You can even group multiple frames in different sizes to create a gallery wall of living art. Practicality is another strength of this design. Fabric pockets allow excellent drainage, preventing root rot, while the modular setup means you can swap out plants easily as seasons change. If one pocket doesn't thrive, simply replace it without disturbing the rest of the wall. This project shows how upcycling can be both functional and artistic. With just wire mesh, some fabric, and an old frame, you can transform your garden wall into a tapestry of colors and textures. A piece of art that literally grows and evolves over time. Painted mason jars for color pop. Mason jars have long been beloved in rustic decor, but with a splash of paint and a little creativity, they can become vibrant wall planters that double as garden art. Their simple glass form makes them endlessly versatile, while paint transforms them into colorful accents that bring joy to any blank wall. Start by choosing a color palette. Soft pastels like mint, lavender, or blush pink create a calming, cottage garden vibe. For a bolder statement, try bright yellows, deep blues, or fiery reds to make the wall truly pop. After painting, Mount the jars onto a wooden plank or directly onto the wall with metal brackets or sturdy clamps. When it comes to plants, mason jars shine with a mix of flowers and small greenery. Imagine marigolds bursting with golden color beside soft pansies or daisies, while a strand of ivy drapes gently down one side. The transparency of the jars, if left partially clear, also allows you to play with layered soil, pebbles, or even decorative sand for an artistic effect. These painted jar planters work beautifully in smaller spaces too, since they bring both function and decoration. They can hold fresh herbs for your kitchen garden or seasonal blooms that you refresh every few months. The charm of this project is in its playfulness. Each jar becomes like a little jewel box of life, and when arranged in rows or clusters, they create a wall full of color, texture, and personality. It's proof that sometimes the simplest containers can deliver the most delightful results. Old gutter system as tiered planters. Old gutters might not look like much when detached from a roof, but they are surprisingly perfect for building tiered wall planters. Their long, narrow shape makes them ideal for planting rows of shallow-rooted plants like herbs, leafy greens, or compact flowers. With just a little cleaning and mounting, what once collected rainwater can now host a thriving vertical garden. Start by cutting the gutter into manageable lengths, then attach them horizontally to a sturdy wall or wooden frame. Arrange them in staggered tiers, much like bookshelves, so each row gets enough light while also creating an appealing layered effect. Drill small drainage holes along the bottom to prevent water buildup, and line the inside with landscape fabric if needed to hold soil in place. The beauty of gutter planters lies in their functionality. Imagine harvesting fresh lettuce, kale, or basil right outside your kitchen door, or enjoying pops of color from pansies and marigolds spilling over the edges. For an added touch, trailing plants like strawberries or nasturtium can cascade gracefully downwards, softening the industrial look of the metal. Besides saving space, this design is incredibly cost-effective. Instead of buying expensive planter boxes, you're reusing materials that might otherwise end up in the landfill. The result is both eco-friendly and visually striking, a structured yet vibrant wall of life. With an old gutter system, you don't just recycle, you reinvent. It's a project that proves beauty often grows in the most unexpected places. Mirror tiles mixed with planters. Sometimes the secret to a stunning planter wall isn't just the plants themselves, but how you frame and enhance them. By combining small mirror tiles with clusters of greenery, you create an illusion of depth and brightness that transforms an ordinary wall into a dynamic garden display. Mirrors bounce light into darker corners, making even the smallest backyard feel more open and inviting. To create this effect, arrange mirror tiles in geometric patterns, squares, diamonds, or even random mosaics, and intersperse them with planters. Upcycled containers such as painted cans, mason jars, or wooden boxes work beautifully here. The mirrors reflect both the plants and the sky, doubling the impact of every flower and leaf. This design isn't just about aesthetics, it's practical too. By reflecting sunlight, mirrors help brighten shaded areas where plants may struggle to thrive. Combined with vibrant planters filled with geraniums, ferns, or trailing petunias, the effect is both functional and enchanting. The trick is balance. Use mirrors sparingly so they accentuate rather than overpower the greenery. Too many mirrors can feel busy, but just enough creates an artistic interplay of reflection and life. With mirror tiles and upcycled planters, you don't just build a vertical garden, you create an illusionary masterpiece. It's a design hack that feels both modern and whimsical, making your garden wall look larger, brighter, and alive with unexpected magic. Succulent pockets from fabric or shoes. Succulents are the perfect plants for vertical gardens, and when paired with fabric pockets or even old shoes, they create a quirky, eco-friendly display that sparks conversation. Their shallow roots and drought tolerance make them ideal for unconventional planters where space and soil are limited. Fabric pockets, often made from burlap, denim, or recycled canvas, can be sewn or stapled onto a wooden frame or directly hung on a wall. Each pocket becomes a mini planter, holding soil snugly while letting excess water drain away. Their natural textures add rustic charm, making the entire wall feel handcrafted and warm. For an even more playful twist, repurpose old shoes or boots. Fill them with well-draining soil and nestle in rosettes of echeveria or cascading strands of sedum. The result is whimsical and unexpected, turning worn-out footwear into little vessels of life. What makes this idea shine is the variety of succulents available. From soft greens and silvers to deep purples and even pink-tipped varieties, succulents bring incredible color and texture without requiring heavy maintenance. Their sculptural forms stand out beautifully against the roughness of fabric or leather. This project isn't just about gardening, it's about personality. Each pocket or shoe becomes a unique frame for nature's artistry. Over time, the succulents grow and fill out, creating a lush mosaic that's as durable as it is eye-catching. With fabric scraps or forgotten shoes, you can craft a living wall that's both sustainable and delightfully unconventional. Color-themed plant selection, monochrome walls. Not every planter wall has to be a riot of mixed colors. Sometimes, the most striking designs come from simplicity, choosing a single color palette and letting it dominate the space. A monochrome garden wall creates a bold, cohesive look that feels deliberate and artistic, much like painting with plants. Imagine an all-purple wall featuring lavender, petunias, salvia, and purple basil. The varying shades and textures of the plants create depth, while the consistent hue ties everything together. Alternatively, you might design a white wall of daisies, alyssum, and dusty miller for a fresh, minimalist vibe, or go bold with fiery reds from geraniums, begonias, and chili peppers. The beauty of a color-themed approach is its versatility. You can choose calming blues and whites for a tranquil retreat, or vibrant yellows and oranges for an energetic, sun-soaked corner. Grouping plants by color also makes maintenance easier. You'll immediately notice if something is out of place or struggling. This design trick borrows from interior styling, where monochrome rooms feel polished and intentional. Applied to gardening, it turns a planter wall into a living mural, striking from a distance yet equally mesmerizing up close. By focusing on a single color family, you're not just growing plants, you're composing a visual symphony. It's an approach that proves sometimes less really is more, and that harmony can be just as powerful as variety. Vertical veggie garden, lettuce, kale, spinach. Who says a planter wall has to be purely ornamental? With a little planning, it can also become your personal mini grocery store. Leafy greens like lettuce, kale, and spinach are ideal for vertical gardening because they grow quickly, require shallow soil, and thrive in cooler microclimates that walls often provide. Picture stepping outside to snip a handful of crisp lettuce leaves for a fresh salad, or harvesting kale to toss into a smoothie, all from a wall that was once bare and lifeless. Growing vegetables vertically not only saves space but also reduces pests and soil-borne diseases since the plants are lifted off the ground. Upcycled containers make this concept even more rewarding. Wooden boxes create rustic rows, tin cans offer compact planting pockets, and plastic bottles can hold clusters of greens with ease. The repeating patterns of green foliage give the wall a lush, abundant look that's as visually satisfying as it is practical. Another advantage of vertical veggie walls is accessibility. For small spaces, patios, or balconies, they provide fresh food where traditional gardens aren't possible. With regular watering and partial sunlight, leafy greens will thrive and provide a steady harvest for months. This idea turns sustainability into everyday life. Instead of buying greens wrapped in plastic at the supermarket, you can enjoy the freshness of homegrown food right from your wall. It's gardening with purpose, beautiful, nutritious, and eco-friendly. Flower explosion with seasonal blooms. Sometimes the most breathtaking planter walls are the ones that celebrate abundance, a joyful explosion of flowers that changes with the seasons. Instead of sticking to one plant type or a strict design, you can let nature paint your wall in waves of color, bringing new life throughout the year. Start by selecting hardy, fast-blooming flowers that thrive in your climate. In spring, petunias, pansies, and snapdragons add cheerful bursts of color. Summer brings marigolds, geraniums, and nasturtiums with their fiery shades, while autumn can feature chrysanthemums and late-blooming asters. By rotating plants seasonally, your wall will never feel static. It becomes a living calendar of blooms. The effect of mixing colors and varieties is dazzling. Imagine a tapestry where purple pansies mingle with golden marigolds, while trailing nasturtiums spill over the edges like flowing ribbons. This mix not only excites the eyes but also attracts pollinators like bees and butterflies, turning your wall into a miniature ecosystem. For the structure, upcycled containers such as tin cans, wooden crates, or even old drawers work wonderfully. Each flower finds its own pocket of soil, and together they create a lush mosaic that feels spontaneous yet enchanting. A flower explosion wall is pure celebration, a reminder that gardens are not only about order and utility but also joy and beauty. It's the kind of design that makes you stop, smile, and breathe in the magic of nature. Lighting magic, fairy lights and solar jars. A planter wall is stunning during the day, but why let its beauty fade when the sun sets? By adding lighting, especially fairy lights and solar jars, you can transform your vertical garden of your garden well into the evening. Fairy lights, with their delicate string of tiny bulbs, create a whimsical effect when draped along rows of planters or woven through vines. Their warm glow softens the outlines of containers and makes flowers sparkle like jewels under moonlight. Solar mason jars, on the other hand, provide charming focal points. Hung at varying heights or nestled among plants, they store daylight energy and glow gently at night without any wiring or extra electricity. The combination of greenery and gentle illumination does more than just decorate. It creates atmosphere, perfect for evening relaxation, family gatherings, or even a romantic outdoor dinner. Light also highlights textures and colors differently, allowing you to appreciate your wall in a whole new way. From an eco-friendly standpoint, solar lighting pairs beautifully with the upcycling theme. You're not only reusing containers but also harnessing renewable energy. It's sustainable beauty at its finest. With fairy lights and solar jars, your planter wall doesn't just stop being alive when the sun goes down. It becomes even more magical, offering a serene glow that makes your garden feel like a storybook scene. Care and growth, keeping your living wall thriving. Creating a living planter wall is only the beginning. The true beauty lies in keeping it thriving over time. Like any piece of art, a vertical garden needs ongoing attention to maintain its vibrancy and charm. With the right care, your wall can continue to flourish season after season, becoming greener and more beautiful as it grows. The first key is watering. Because vertical gardens have less soil than ground beds, they can dry out quickly. Installing a simple drip irrigation system or making a habit of watering regularly ensures your plants stay hydrated without oversoaking. Drainage holes in upcycled containers are essential to prevent root rot. Feeding your plants is just as important. A monthly dose of liquid fertilizer or compost tea keeps the soil nutrient-rich and supports continuous growth. Over time, some plants may outgrow their pockets. Don't hesitate to trim, replace, or rotate them to keep the wall fresh and balanced. Sunlight is another factor to monitor. If part of your wall is shaded, choose plants like ferns or spinach that thrive in lower light, while sunnier sections are perfect for herbs and flowering plants. By matching each plant to its microclimate, you create a resilient ecosystem. Most importantly, caring for your living wall connects you to the rhythm of nature. It's not just maintenance, it's an ongoing dialogue between you and your garden. With consistent care, your planter wall will remain a true masterpiece, alive and evolving with every season. And there you have it, over 25 inspiring ways to upcycle everyday items into a living, breathing planter wall masterpiece. Remember, it's not just about saving money or recycling. It's about turning ordinary objects into extraordinary stories in your garden. Which idea was your favorite? Share it with us in the comments below. And if you create your own, we'd love to hear about it. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our weekly garden inspiration. Until next time, keep creating beauty, one plant at a time.